All right, Liz Rosenberg with The Silence of Women. So let's start off with thinking once again about theme. Is this poem about anger? Is it about love? Is it about courage? Is it about perseverance? It could be about happiness, and you have many themes to choose from, not just those. And once again, how does it fit in with the other poems we've read, particularly from female poets so far in this course? So, what's going on in this poem? Well, let's just start at the beginning lines here. Old men, as time goes on, grow softer, sweeter, while their wives get angrier. Really? Are we to believe that this is the case with all relationships, marriage or otherwise, that in the passage of time, the men grow softer and sweeter while women just get angrier? Well, it's a generalization, and perhaps we should not believe that about all relationships. But let's remember, too, that in terms of our analysis, we are confined within the page. We have just the world of this poem. So, um, for sake of our analysis, then we are going to look at it as men just grow softer and sweeter, and women get angrier. So this begs the question: why might that be? Why might men grow softer and sweeter, and women get angrier? If women do indeed get angrier as a relationship moves through the years, it couldn't possibly be because of the men in their lives, now could it? Obviously, I'm saying that sarcastically. Of course, in terms of this poem, the reason that women get angrier is because of the men in their lives. For example, there might be a female or two listening to this lecture who has a boyfriend or a husband, and some of those women might be able to say, I have told my husband the same thing thousands upon thousands of times, yet the same behavior persists. And it could be maddening if you tell someone to do the same thing time after time, and they simply, it's like they don't listen, it's like they don't hear you. It can become, from the woman's perspective, like what she says or does simply doesn't matter, isn't heard, it isn't important enough. Well, if what you have to say isn't important enough to your husband, to your boyfriend, does that suggest that you are not that important to your husband or boyfriend? All of this can lead to a maddening sort of state of mind, or anger. And as it says, the wives get angrier. So we have lines like, "You see them, the women, hauling the men across the mall or pushing them down on chairs. Sit there and don't you move." Well, why would you have to tell someone that? Because a thousand times before you have asked that individual to sit there and not to move, yet when you return, they're gone. And so um, we have a lifetime of yes has left them hissing, bent as snakes. Well, to whom does um, them refer? Has left them hissing? Well, since men grow softer and sweeter, probably they're not hissing like snakes and sort of bent over. Them is probably referring to the women who are now hissing like snakes, and because they're, you sit there and don't you move, and bent over with anger and the weight of years and years of telling someone what to do and not having them listen. Um, it says, it seems even their bones will turn against them once their fruitful years are gone. And then we move down to after the white space. Oh, lifetime of silence. Words scattered like a sibyl's leaves, voices thrown into a baritone storm, whose shrilling is a soulful wind. So, shrilling is like a high pitched cry that might be equated to women sort of screaming and their voices going up as they say the same thing over and over again. And so, blown through an instrument that cannot beat time, but must make music any way it can. So, in that sense, if the shrilling and the soulful wind are a woman's voice, it's blowing through an instrument, her body that cannot beat time, because in other words, it can't beat time. Well, you can't beat it and you can't keep time in a musical sense, like the proper beat and rhythm, because it's almost like you're standing outside of time. Time does not change things, no matter how many times and for how many years you issue the same instructions, please do this, please do that, and it doesn't get done, then time doesn't matter. But the shrilling continues because you have to make music any way you can. So you just keep giving the same instructions over and over. Again, think about theme, think about how this fits into some of the other poems we've read by the female poets this semester, and if you choose to write about it, choose a good grouping of poems. All right, thank you.